Day 15. Results of interest, 2022 World Aquatics Championships, the 1st of July, 2022. So, up first, logistics. This is related to, so yesterday open water swimming ended, and earlier in the competition pool swimming and artistic swimming ended, so water polo and diving are going on, which we don't have as our sports of interest and we don't have countries of interest for. So this is kind of more of a logistical on the training front. So my husband, Florian Leonhardi, has been training off and on with Gregorio in Italy for a few years now and enjoys swimming in the Mediterranean. And so it's just, yeah. Then that's the first thing. And then the second thing is swimming at the 2022 Mediterranean Games started today, July 1. So the 1st of July 2020, swimming is underway at the 2022 Mediterranean Games. So we are going to talk about 2 swimmers we have competing there. And by we, I mean I made a Wikipedia page for this person and created a new page for this person. And there are 2 people I did that for are competing and have results from today. So we'll go with that. So countries of interest, we don't have any. We didn't choose any for the sports that are going on. We decided to watch and kind of learn, that kind of thing. Lone penguins of interest results, not applicable. None of our lone penguins competed. They were both pool swimmers this time. Medal table. We have no new medals and no medal table updates for medals already won. And medalists, we have no new medalist updates and no revisions or updates to medalists that have already won something. Other interest-speaking results, we have one from diving. Chiara Pellacani of Italy placed 3rd in the semifinals of the 3-meter springboard female with a score of 303.75 points. So the 3-meter springboard is a bouncy diving board. It's part of diving. So there's the bouncy diving board where they can go out to the end and they jump up and down and the board kind of goes up and down and they jump off. And so it's a spring board. And then there's the platform where it's just fixed and they jump off the platform. So this is the springboard one. And it's interesting because I've been watching the diving results come in, and if I'm recalling correctly, she did well in the semifinals of the 1-meter springboard event as well. So like she could, she's a good semifinal performer, which I thought was an interesting, interest-piquing result. So I decided to throw it in. And then the last 2 things, other interest-piquing results, are from the 2022 Mediterranean Games. So up first is Lorenzo Mora of Italy. He qualified for the final of the 100-meter backstroke male. And then in the final, he won a silver medal, which is a pretty big deal for him. He's really good at short course meters, which is a 25-yard long pool. And the 2022 Mediterranean Games are a 50-meter pool. And so it's him working on his prowess in the long pool, and he won a silver medal. So it's a big step forward in his professional swimming career for him. And then the next one is Alba Vázquez of Spain. She qualified for the final of the 400-meter individual medley female, and she won the bronze medal in the final. So she used to be the world junior record holder in the event, so that's like, roughly speaking, the best way to understand is that if somebody is a junior, they can set a record for like fastest junior. So that's fast. They'll come up with an age cutoff. It might be 18 or 17 or 19 or something like that. Depends on the sport, depends on the organizing body. Different for at different organizing bodies in different sports. And so she used to have the world junior record, and she won a few medals in 2019 at various championships, at like continental scale and world scale. And then she's been competing since, but hasn't really won a medal. And so this is a pretty big deal for getting back into it after setting this world junior record. Is a return to kind of a medal winning state. So that's great for re-entry. That's a good term, is she's already established herself as a junior and then figuring out how to be successful as a senior and making that transition successfully and winning a medal. So that's a pretty big deal. I'll do one last note on re-debuts. So, which I'm not sure if is a word, but I think is an accurate term. So, and it's applicable to all three of these interest-piquing results. And especially, I've been following Lorenzo, Mora, and Alba Vázquez for longer and writing about them for longer. Or writing about them, period. And so for those two, they both already have established themselves or debuted or broken through, like they broke through on the international and global scale, world scale. And so them making this transition is a bit of what I would term a re-debut, because they've already broken through. So it's not a breakthrough, but they are breaking through again after in Alba Vázquez's case, approximately 3 years, and for Lorenzo Mora, approximately a few months, so like less than a year. But there's still, it's not, they're medaling in every single international championships available to compete in. They're transitioning a bit, so for Lorenzo Mora from short course meters to long course meters, and Alba Vázquez from junior to senior, and they're making that transition successfully. And so in that sense, they're debuting again, and in both of those cases in a different venue or a different competition format or a different competition level. And so I would call that a re-debut, because they've already debuted before, so it's not the first time they're breaking through, but they are breaking through again. So I would term that a re-debut. I would also make a note, or will make a note, and making a note, a re-debut, and thinking it through, it doesn't have to be a change. So it could be somebody who maybe they break through when they're 27, 28, 29, and then they take 5 years off, and then they come back and they do the same like event. So like if they did the 25-kilometer open water swim and they won a gold medal, and then they took 5 years off, and then they came back and won another gold medal in that event, I would call that a re-debut as well. And so I guess there's a criteria here of to re-debut requires some sort of hiatus in competition. Whether they fail to qualify or they just take a break of their own choosing, kind of like they just don't even want to try and qualify for a team. Whatever the reason is, a re-debut is breaking through again after the initial breakthrough, if that makes sense. So that is day 15 results of interest for the 2022 World Aquatics Championships, with a couple tidbits for the 2022 Mediterranean Games, which are being held in Oran, Algeria. So go Africa. It's pretty cool as a host. And countries competing as a host. It's very cool.